Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. And you may have seen yesterday I did one of the videos in my series Advice for the New Cyclist, and that was about how to fill your water bottle, and you can find a link to that video just up there if you can find it. So I thought today we'd do the second in that particular series. This has partly been suggested by some of the people who watched the earlier video, but it was also on my list to do anyway, and it is how to eat a gel. Yes, now many experienced cyclists will be very familiar with how to consume a gel, but if you are new to cycling, and many of you are new to cycle, welcome to the world of cycling in lockdown. Many of you are new to this, and you might wonder that eating the gel is one of the dark arts. You've seen references to it in Harry Potter and 50 Shades of Grey, but you're not quite sure how to do it. Well, this video will tell you everything you need to know about how to eat a gel. Now, first of all, as my friend Fanny Craddock used to say, first find your gel. And if you're out in the wilderness, or you're in a rural community, you might have to kill your gel first in order to get a fresh organic one. But I've got this particular gel, and this is by the Kendall Mint Company. Some of you may be familiar with them. They make something called the Kendall Mint Cake, which is a very tasty mint flavored cake. It's a solid block of sugar, which lots of people in the Lake District used to consume. I find it a little bit sweet myself, if I'm honest. Not quite sure why, as it's mainly composed of sugar, but there you go. But anyway, I've got this gel, and this is by the Kendall Mint Company. Other gels are available, of course, and I'm going to go through some of the different ways that people in different parts of the world consume their gels, and then I want to show you how we in the United Kingdom, now that we are an independent sovereign country and can make our own laws and our own rules about things, we can now decide on not only the best way to consume a gel, but the correct way to consume a gel. And as you'll all want to copy what we're doing in the United Kingdom, because we're going to have the best country in the world, everybody says so, that's going to include the best way to consume a gel. So come with me and let's dive into the world of gels. Now, the first method, and this is quite common, so I'm told, in some of the states in the southern United States, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Arkansas, Texas. Is Texas a southern state? New Mexico, Montana, Oregon, other states are available. And they prefer to eat their gels on a plate with a knife and fork. So I have here my gel, I have here my knife, this is a knife, I have here a fork, and in one of the states, I think it's West Virginia, but I'm not quite sure, they always put a little bit of salt. I have some salt here, this is called a salt. Well, it says salt, that's how you know it's salt. So I'll get a little bit of salt, put some on my gel there, and also a little bit of pepper. This is a rather big pepper grinder, so we'll put some pepper on. There we are, and I'm going to eat the gel now. That's nice. And if you're perhaps living in one of the more rural communities and you're not using a knife and fork, then of course you can eat your gel. Oh, it's rather nice, rather minty flavoured gel. Yes, I like that. I may adopt that southern states method of eating the gel, but that's not how we do it in the United Kingdom. Oh no. This is another method. This is quite popular in the Soviet Union, especially in Siberia. It gets very cold in Siberia, and they need a lot of sustenance, a lot of energy if they're going to go out for a bike ride. So they like to have a bowl of oats. Can you see this? These are oats here. This comes from the oat tree. Grows very plentifully in Siberia in the cold weather, and they like to have their gel with their oats. So they'll put their gel in their bowl with their oats, and then they'll eat them like that. The oats on their own can be a little bit dry. I don't know if you've ever eaten a a newspaper in this country. We have a number of very good newspapers: Sunday Times, The Observer, Sunday Telegraph. And if you've ever eaten one, I used to eat those when times were difficult. Occasionally I had a daily paper as well, sometimes a Sunday paper, sometimes even one of the Sunday supplements if I felt like a bit of a feast. But it was rather like eating these oats, because if you don't have any liquid with them, I'm afraid they're rather dry and they stick to the roof of your mouth. So that's where you go, that's where the gel is going to go. Well, that is also going to stick to the roof of your mouth. So I wouldn't, if I were you, follow the Siberian method, unless of course you are in Siberia, in which case you'll be familiar with it. So that is another way that you probably shouldn't be eating your gel. Now the next method we're going to consider is very popular. I mean, some of the Pacific islands where cycling is very, very popular. Although some of the islands are quite small and therefore the distances they can travel are quite limited. So if they were in a kind of lockdown situation as we are in this country and you weren't allowed to travel more than 5 miles, that wouldn't be a problem, because some of these islands are not even 5 miles across. And what they like to do is to consume their gel with a drink. In this case, I've got some grapefruit juice and I've mixed my gel in with the grapefruit juice. It's very tasty. I'm going to drink it now. And the gel, just scratching my nose here, the gel adds a little frisson of extra taste. There, a little sharp dose of caffeine to mix with my grapefruit juice. Well, I'm rather partial to that. I might actually move to a Pacific island. And in fact, take my bicycle, maybe even take my stock of gels with me, and then I can fit in, as the old saying goes, when in Tahiti, do as the Tahitians do. And so I'm thinking of doing that. So that's the gel in the juice idea. The other one, this is very popular in Canada. Canada has adopted some of the more British habits, and they like to have a cup of tea. This is a tea bag. And what they do is they put the tea bag into the cup like that. Shall I do that again in case you missed it? Put the tea bag into the cup and then they add the gel with it, and then add the boiling water. I haven't got the boiling water with me because of health and safety issues, but just imagine if the boiling water has gone in there, it's soaked through the tea bag, soaked through the gel, everything has got well mixed up. I'll use a fork here to stir it. That's a little milk. I'm not doing that here because of health and safety issues. Of course, milk doesn't travel well in videos. And then they drink the gel with the tea and the milk and the boiling water. Not a good idea to drink just the boiling water on its own, because it is possible to scald your mouth and your tongue. So it's rather nice. Now you might think, well, come on, Julian. How are we supposed to believe this nonsense? Because you haven't even opened the packet of gel. Well, okay, the reason for that is I actually only have one gel left, and therefore I'm not going to open it just yet, because once I've opened it, that's it. The gel goes off, and it's not possible, not even advisable, for you to consume it once the packet has been opened. So it's important to remember, once you open the gel packet, you must consume the gel. So let's put the tea aside, let's put the juice to one side, and let's move on now to the latest method. As we all know as cyclists, one of the best things you can eat as a cyclist is a banana. And this says Dominican Republic. That's interesting. I imagine this banana then comes from the Dominican Republic. There was a girl at my school called Dominican Republic, which is, funny enough, she was not from the Dominican Republic, which was something that we all rather struggled with. But this banana has flown. Can a banana fly? No, of course a banana can't fly. But it has travelled here. You can imagine the banana. It's rocked up like this. It's gone over the sea. Yes, it's gone over the sea, and it's gone over the land. One hopes that the banana wasn't on its own. It could get quite lonely. One would hope there were other bananas travelling with it. And it's travelled over the oceans. It's travelled through the forests, down the rivers, along the roads, motorways, grass tracks, or even gravel paths, possibly. It could have been transported by a gravel cyclist who had the banana in its back, and it's rocked up. Yes, it's rocked up here at my front door. And then what a lot of people do, you see, particularly in Central America, where bananas are very plentiful, gel's not quite so plentiful, but when they can get them, they put them together and they eat the banana. I'll peel the gel and rip the top off the banana. No, it's the other way around. I'll peel the banana, rip the top off the gel, and then I'm ready to go. Very tasty, very tasty. The peel, incidentally, you should not eat the peel of a banana. And you may not know this, but bananas were introduced to the United Kingdom by Sir Walter Raleigh in 1597. But for the first 60 years or so of people eating bananas in the United Kingdom, they didn't realise they're much better if you peel them. And there are old photographs of Queen Elizabeth and Sir Walter Raleigh and Sir Francis Drake sitting down to dinner, and they're all eating unpeeled bananas. And then they subsequently are rather ill. So I wouldn't eat the peel from a banana. Take the peel off, as I'm sure you're familiar, and that's how to eat it. So with your gel, and we now come to the crux of the matter. We come to the what do we call it? We call it the key part of this video, and that is how people in the United Kingdom eat their gels. And what you do is you rip off this top. You see this metal top? I'm not going to do this because this is the only gel that I've got, so this is going to have to last me throughout lockdown, so I'm going to save it until I really need it. But you rip that off. If you're riding your bike, you can do that with your teeth, but be careful you don't swallow this bit of rather metallic stuff. It's not very nice. Don't throw it in the road. Don't throw it in somebody's front garden, unless it's a mother-in-law or father-in-law, other relative you're not particularly keen on. It's best if you keep that, put it in your back pocket. Okay, so you ripped off the top, and inside here is an absolutely revolting, gloopy, sweet, thick liquid. So the best thing to do with the gel is actually not to eat it at all, and just to chuck it away and perhaps have another banana, perhaps have a flapjack, perhaps have something else, because gels, take it from me guys, are revolting. So hope you've enjoyed that video, hope you've learned something, and make sure you tune in for the next one in this series of advice for the new cyclist. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.